guests. We have YouTubers from Japan.
Hello!
Can you introduce yourselves and your channel?
Sure, here.
Yeah.
Do your intro. Do your
Do your
famous
intro.
intro, Mr. Fuji.
He's Japanese?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Well, go ahead.
Okay. こんにちは、全人類と友達になる男、僕がミスター富士です。そして、
ルーマニアのアナです。
United States, Byron des. よろしく。お願いします。
Okay, I need to learn from them. Much more professional than me.
No.
So, how did you come to be YouTubers?
Well, it's all thanks to this guy.
Yes. I mean, the channel is called Mr. Fuji from Japan, and he is Mr. Fuji. He is from Japan, and his goal is to get foreigners together to talk about their opinions of their countries and also Japan.
We also talk about the differences between Japan and our respective countries.
Right. Right.
So, in your opinion, what is like the most common thing that people say is different and special about Japan? What do I need to experience
All
when
right.
I'm here?
Here, what do people say in our interviews? Japan is nani nani.
Okay, easy one.
Okay.
There are a lot of vending machines
Yes.
Oh, yes.
everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone says that all the time. There's so many vending machines everywhere. And like everybody takes a picture of it too. I'm sure that you two have taken a picture of a vending machine, haven't you? There we go. She's out with it. Out with it. There we go. We caught her right in the act. What about you?
I would say like to go off from that, there's a lot of vending machine, there's a lot of convenience store, and Japan is an extremely convenient country to
Yes.
live in. Like if you need something, you can get it at any hour right next to where you live. Yeah, so for example, if it's 3 a.m. in the morning, you just came back from the club and you need to take your makeup off. Oh, just go to the convenience. That's like 2 minutes from your house.
While you eat an onigiri at
Yes,
the same time.
yes.
Like this. Let's do it all at once at the convenience. Yes. For me, I feel like people always say that Japanese people are polite. So it doesn't matter if like you're trying to like find your way or if you don't speak the language. Like Japanese people always go out of their way to help you in some extent, and a lot of people have had that opinion. Also, a lot of people talk about the trash cans and how there's just no trash cans everywhere, but it's clean. Yeah. And we've had that opinion several times on the channel.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. What about Japanese culture is something that you think is very special or valuable and that you think may be good for other countries to learn about?
This goes hand in hand. Japan is a very collectivist society. So in Europe and America, we tend to be more individualistic. So a thing that Japanese do a lot, before they do pretty much anything, they think about, okay, how would my actions affect other people? So they are very aware of the other people around them, and that makes for a very peaceful and for a very peaceful society where you don't see many conflicts. Like even when they drink, a very common thing in Europe is when guys get really drunk, they're at the club. Sometimes there would be fights, but that doesn't happen in Japan because people are more aware of like, okay, how would my action affect the people around me? I have to think about the other people before I think about myself.
Nice.
A plus.
A plus.
Beat that.
Go Fuji. English. I'm just kidding.
English?
No, it's okay. You can do Japanese. I'll do it.
本に住んでるから難しい。
That's true. It's hard because I live in Japan. Yeah.
なんか自分が与えられた役割は絶対にこなそうとするプラス、
Yeah, so everybody at their job has like their specific part that they have to do to get their job done, and everybody has that sense of like responsibility to have to finish the project. So nobody is like left alone. Nobody works like by themselves. And then if one person is not doing their part in the company, then everybody falls flat, right? So they establish that as the base, and then that's the only way they can move forward is to work together as a collective unit.
Getting goosebumps.
For me, something that I wish that they could take back to, I guess, the United States is just more integrating everything into one education, right? Like I feel like in the States, education is like, okay, inside of the classroom and that's it. It's like the class is only going to happen inside of the classroom and they're not going to reiterate it outside of the classroom. So for example, we were talking about yesterday how Japanese people, they talk about, you know, being healthy in general, right? And they talk about different like caloric intakes and what is like a healthy level and like what a balanced meal should look like, right? Like in the States we learn about the food pyramid, right? Like we learn that in class, but then when we go to lunch, it's just cheeseburgers, hamburgers, it's just hot dogs, like all these unhealthy things. But in Japan, like they have like the calorie counts and they have like everything on the menu, like from vegetables and like fish, and like, it's well balanced. And then you can't go to like recess without finishing your whole meal. So they're forced to eat these healthy meals. And I'm like, what? You can't just like throw it away? Because that's what I'm used to. It's like a very like wasteful like countries to begin with. So I wish that they would educate, I guess, the youth on how to maintain a healthy diet. The standard of health is just so much different there.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I have one last question for you. Now, we've talked a lot about Japanese culture. If you think about German culture, what comes to your mind?
Sausage.
Sausage. Is that what comes in sausage?
Super shallow, sorry.
Yeah, I would say Germans, kind of the same as Japanese, they are extremely punctual. If you have work to do and it's from this time to this time, you start at the time that you're supposed to start on the clock and you end at the time that you're supposed to end on the clock as well.
We try our best, but it's not always working.
I heard that Germany, like a lot of people are more blunt. Is that correct? Like if something is wrong, then they'll tell you. Something is out of line, then they'll be straight up to tell you that, hey, like this is not right. Like as opposed to Japan, nobody tells you you're doing wrong, but they stare at you. But in
The
Germany, people
camera
went.
agrees with you.
Is that what happens? Is that what happens? That's what I've heard about Germany. I think that like a lot of people think that German is a very angry language, but I'm like, only you say it angry. Like people are like trying to say butterfly, like schmetterling, like they're really like loud and angry. I'm just like, no, but it's actually like a pretty word, like schmetterling. Schmetterling. Just say it nicely.
Oh, another stereotype that I have about Germans that I kind of learned from social media is that everyone dresses in an efficient way, and rather than thinking about, oh, this is cute or whatnot, it's more about, okay, how can I make the best out of these clothes? So you would have.
She's getting self-conscious, guys. Stop. She's getting self-conscious, guys. We gotta stop. Now you're gonna get self-conscious.
Please compare.
Go ahead, girls.
Who's the German?
Romania and Germany.
Yeah.
There it is.
I think you've got a point.
And you like to do walks and hikes a lot, so that's why you have to dress in an efficient way, right? So a lot of Germans would have like the sandals with the trousers that have a lot of pockets, then a simple t-shirt and the jacket that's like it's a good jacket for when you get a little cold, but also it's waterproof.
Oh, I get it now.
One of those.
Practicality. Well, the stereotype is in fact true.
Is it true?
Is it true?
How about you?
Sausage, no overtime.
No
No
overtime. Isn't that
Yeah,
just any
that's
country other than Japan?
Really important for me, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Every day I work like for
16 hours?
12,
6
yeah,
hours, okay.
12 or 15 hours at most. So every day overtime. But in Germany, I heard if you like work one day, if you work for like 2 hours overtime, you can get less 2 hours.
Oh, the next day.
Yeah.
So if you
Next
work
day.
like 10 hours one day, you'll work 6 hours the next
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Like
that?
something
Ah.
that. So that's great system.
He wants
We
it.
should follow. We should follow that.
He's desperate. He's desperate.
Come to Germany.
Definitely.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I think I learned a lot about Japan, and we learned a lot about Germany as well. It was a pleasure having you.
Oh, thank you
much.
so much for
Thank you
having
so much for
us.
having
Yeah.
us. And follow Mr.
Yeah.
Fuji from Japan.
From Japan.
From
yeah.
Not us, just him.
No, our channel.
Our channel.
Please come
His
and
name's
check
on
our
it. His
YouTube
name's on
channel.
it.
Yes. If you want to learn more about Japanese culture, check out their channel and learn even more than what we discussed in this very brief video.
His channel.
No, our channel.
These well-dressed people's channel.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.